What if your homeland was invaded overnight? How would you react? Imagine waking up to a world where borders are redrawn, where peace is a distant memory, where survival becomes the new normal. This is not a dystopian novel. This is the reality of the Russia-Ukraine war that has been unfolding for the past 2 years. A conflict that has not only changed the lives of millions, but has also sent ripples across the globe, challenging alliances and reshaping geopolitical landscapes. Let's explore the chronicles of this war that has shaken the world. On February 24, 2022, the world watched in shock as Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. This marked the beginning of a brutal conflict that would reshape the geopolitical landscape. As Russian troops flooded into the nation, the Ukrainian people found themselves in the midst of a war that they did not ask for. The world reacted with a mix of disbelief, horror, and condemnation, but the invasion was already underway. In the face of adversity, Ukraine stood firm, ready to defend their homeland. This was just the start of a long, grueling war. The Battle of Mariupol was a turning point in the war. This city, located in eastern Ukraine, became a symbol of resilience and defiance under the Russian onslaught. The battle was fierce, and the city fell to Russian forces after intense fighting. Yet the spirit of resistance was far from crushed. The aftermath was marked by a renewed determination among the Ukrainian forces, which pushed back against the Russian advances in other parts of the country. Despite the fall of Mariupol, Ukraine continued to resist. In the midst of devastation, evidence of possible war crimes emerged. The war-torn towns of Bucha and Borodyanka bore the brutal marks of what could be mass graves and civilian executions. These grisly discoveries appeared to shatter the boundaries of humanity, painting a chilling picture of the cost of conflict. The world watched shocked and horrified as the potential enormity of these crimes began to sink in. Yet, amid the shadows of these possible atrocities, the war raged on, unyielding and relentless. As the world reeled from these revelations, the war raged on. The first war crimes trial in Ukraine since the invasion began was a landmark event. A Russian soldier found himself standing in the dock, the weight of his actions bearing down on him. This wasn't an ordinary battlefield skirmish. This soldier had pleaded guilty to killing an unarmed man, a stark violation of the laws of war, a horrifying reminder of the excesses of conflict. This trial marked a pivotal moment, a glimmer of accountability in the midst of chaos. Justice, it seemed, was possible even in times of war. Amid the chaos, foreign diplomatic missions began to resume operations in Kiev. This marked a significant milestone, a glimmer of normalcy peeking through the fog of war. Embassies reopening their doors signaled a gradual return of international presence, and with it, the potential for diplomatic dialogues. It was a testament to the resilience of the Ukrainian people, their government, and their city. Yet this was not a return to pre-war life, but an adaptation to the new reality. While diplomatic missions resumed, the world was on edge. In a significant political move, Finland and Sweden applied to join NATO. This decision, a direct reaction to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, signaled a shift in the geopolitical balance. Historically neutral, these Nordic nations felt compelled to seek collective security, a decision reflecting the growing concern about Russia's aggressive actions. As a result, the NATO alliance was strengthened, extending its influence further into Northern Europe. With more countries joining the NATO alliance, Russia found itself increasingly isolated. Western countries rallied to support Ukraine, providing much-needed aid. As the war raged on, the West stepped in with both military and humanitarian assistance. Nations like the United States and others across Europe pledged military aid, including state-of-the-art tanks, to bolster Ukraine's defenses. But the aid was not limited to armaments. There was also a significant flow of humanitarian aid to help the displaced and the injured, the people whose lives were upended by the conflict. Western aid was a lifeline for Ukraine as the war continued. Germany, under pressure from NATO allies, considered sending Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine. This move, a significant departure from Germany's initial resistance, was a testament to the escalating stakes of the conflict. These tanks, if deployed, would arm Ukraine with modern military capabilities, potentially tipping the balance of the war. Yet the decision was not made lightly, with parliamentary debates ensuing and the exact number of battle-ready Leopards undisclosed. It was a move that didn't sit well with Russia, who warned of strained relations. As the war entered a new phase, the stakes were higher than ever. 2 years on, the war continues to rage, with no end in sight. From the unsettling beginnings to the intense Battle of Mariupol, from the shocking evidence of war crimes to the first war crimes trial, this conflict has shaken the world. The resumption of diplomatic missions in Kiev, Finland, and Sweden's application to NATO, the influx of Western aid, and Germany's consideration of tank deployment all highlight the global ripple effects of this struggle. The current state of the conflict remains tense, as the world watches on, acutely aware of the human toll. As we reflect on these key moments, we must remember the human cost of this war and hope for a peaceful resolution.